Hello and welcome to preparation webinar number 3. This is Kane Minkus coming to you live here from Los Angeles to your home in Asia somewhere, Hong Kong, Thailand, Taiwan, Singapore, Brunei, Myanmar, Indonesia, Tokyo, the Philippines, wherever you're coming and tuning in from. Welcome to the third webinar, number 3. Hope you're doing awesome. We're going to give one more minute to allow everybody to get started, and then we're going to rock and get started with our third preparation webinar. I hope you are having a great day there, a great morning there. It's morning time for you. And we just finished dinner here in Los Angeles with the family, Alessia's parents and our daughter. And I'll tell you, there's nothing more valuable than having time to spend with your family. Just be grateful for that. Your brothers, sisters, parents, whoever you have in your life, be grateful for your family. It's the most important thing. All right, so let me know if you can hear me okay as we get started here. Can you hear me and see me okay? Want to make sure that you can, because everything I'm going to tell you today is going to be absolutely critical for your growth and your success and your survival as you grow your businesses. All right, Roberto says all good. Christine says yes. Litboon says all in order. Okay, excellent. So this is the last of the 3 webinars, but just the beginning of a really committed relationship that we're going to be having as we get committed to diving deep in the upcoming training weekends. Now, you may be seeing us this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Hong Kong, which will be 3 of some of the most powerful training days I think you will ever have had in the conversation about how to take what you love and turn it into something powerful for the rest of the world so that people can invest in your products, invest in your services, and invest in your systems to solve their problems. And what you're going to get is you're going to be able to create the security and the safety and the future that you want for yourself and for your family. Okay, so it looks like everybody can hear okay. If you cannot see or hear okay, there's a little refresh button. You can press the refresh button and like magic, although it's not magic, it's technology, you can refresh your window. All right, that should do it. Okay, so I'm going to bring up our slides for today as we venture into our third series here. Just getting started with the first week. Now, if you're joining us in Singapore, we're going to see you a week from Friday. That'll be the first weekend of May. And a quick reminder for everybody listening that you must have given us your guests. So if you have not sent your guest in, please know that this is the time. This is the last time that you will have to be able to get your guest registered. If they are not registered from here on out, they will probably miss one of the most defining business trainings that they could ever participate in. And you don't want that. So make sure that you get your guest in. You're going to send any information to Rockstar Service at industryrockstar.com. I'm putting it into the chat window. You should have it now on your screen. That is the place to communicate anything. And as a quick reminder, registration on Friday morning, whether it's this Friday or the following Friday in Singapore, will begin sharply at 8 a.m. And the event, training, the systems, the techniques, and the secrets will all start at 9 a.m. is when the training will begin. Okay, and we are very timely. We have been coming to Asia and training in Asia for 6 years. We've trained 22,000 business owners throughout North and Southeast Asia. We have offices in Southeast Asia and Singapore. It is like one of my homes. I live part-time in California, half-time in Italy, on the island of Sardinia, with my beautiful wife, Alessia, who you got to meet last night. And the other third place that I spend most of my time is in Asia. In Southeast Asia with our team, we have about 15 important team members in Southeast Asia managing our events, managing our marketing funnels and our advertising. And I know, if there's anything I know about training in Asia, is that it's very casual about the start time. Don't let it be casual, because we are not casual. This is not a game. We're not playing We are there to change your life and to share 20 years of experience and wisdom, systems and techniques that we have been refining that have been working for business owners all over the world for 11 years. We've had 400,000 business owners through our trainings. We've had 60,000 of them go on through our mentorship programs where we were holding their hands for a year, making sure their businesses were growing. And to date, we have a 100% success rate with every student in our mentorship program that has ever engaged with us fully, completely, done everything we've asked them to do. And we have grown their businesses by, listen to this, listen closely, 40 to 400% guaranteed growth. That's what we have done with every student that has engaged and completely done exactly what we've asked them to do. If you're someone who can follow directions and you can listen, take feedback, and do things that are laid out for you step by step, then you can grow a successful business. And success will be determined by you, not by us, although we often determine it as a 6 or 7 figure US dollar business. And if you would like that, then you're in the right place. All right, so let's take a look. Now I'm going to do some training content here that's very, very valuable. Do not consider webinars or our webinars something that is not valuable content just because you are at home, and I am at home, although I'm actually at a hotel right now where we are staying because we are taking a conference ourselves this weekend. I don't know if Alessia told you or if I told you on the last one, but we are here training ourselves because mentors have mentors. If we are not leading trainings, Alessia and I are constantly in trainings, constantly learning, not just books, not just online membership sites, but we are going to where the experts and the geniuses are in the world, whether we have to travel, no matter what we have to invest. We invested 10,000 US dollars for just 4 days of training this weekend for us. And this was a training to continue to understand how to help branding, positioning, global services and products to make sure that our students could get the best cutting edge stuff around how to make themselves more successful. So, all right, so let's do some content and then we're going to open up to some questions. So I see Yazin is already on the questions. That's great. Thank you, Yazin. I'm going to hold your question till the end, but you're welcome to put them into the chat window at any time. So when we get ready to go, they are ready to go. Here we go. So this is webinar 3 of 3. And of course, in the first webinar, I took you through the critical early decisions, the decisions you must make to come into the training weekend at least with a sense of clarity around what you could work on. That way, everything we teach you will not be theory. We're not teaching you theories. These are not theoretical information. You got enough theoretical information in traditional schooling. It does nothing for you. This is going to be experiential learning. You're going to experience it. We're going to demonstrate how it works out in the world, and you're going to understand what is actually working to cause money, success, influence, power, and dynasties to be built. In the second webinar, Alessia took you through your higher purpose. And I hope you enjoyed meeting her. Such a brilliant woman, a woman who inspires women across the world, a woman who has built a dynasty of her own throughout Europe, launching 7 of her own companies, doing hundreds of millions of dollars. And she's going to be sharing with you from her beautifully and perfect feminine perspective how to be an extraordinary woman in the world and be successful. And of course, women, she's an inspiration to you, and gentlemen, she's an inspiration to us to understand an entire model of ourselves, the feminine side and the masculine side, an integration of both, because women do things quite differently, of course, and they do things beautifully. And so it's very important for us to learn from each other. She took you through that yesterday. Number 3 webinar tonight, we're going to look at how to find your genius. And your genius is the number one thing that people overlook in their business and therefore never quite really achieve the success that they deserve because they are not really working inside of their genius or sharing about their genius. So this is all to prepare you for the upcoming 3-day event this weekend coming up in Hong Kong, next weekend in Singapore. And so let's look at what we're going to look at on this webinar. On this webinar, you're going to look at how to find your genius. I can't tell you how many people around the world always say to me, I'm really not that unique. I'm really not that special. Well, you are special. Give yourself permission to be special. You are extraordinary. You are unique. You just have never celebrated yourself, and you've never let others celebrate you. That's a bigger conversation than your genius. You see, you have extraordinary skills and talents. You have invested in yourself in many different areas. You just have never celebrated yourself. And that's what finding your genius is really about, is celebrating yourself and allowing others to celebrate you in a way that you have never done before. I'm going to take you through a linguistic and a business technique that you will use for the rest of your life, transforming your ability to connect with people and get them curious about who you are and what you do. And last, I'm going to look at how important it is to position results in the marketplace. And you can write this down if you're taking notes. At the upcoming training weekends, we're going to give you so many notes. Make sure you bring a pen. Make sure you bring a pad of paper. You are going to get our manual, over 100 pages of surgically designed and engineered systems and techniques and tools that we have used. As the partners here at Industry Rockstar, we've created $2 billion in revenue in our businesses over the last 20 years, and we're going to be gifting you all of that knowledge, system, and training in a framework, in a system, in a recipe to help you get results, because that's why you're there. You want to have results, right? Cool. All right, so let's take a look at how to find your genius. Most people in the world are not related to what gifts they have and their geniuses. So many people are so quick to say that they're very simple, or they're not very smart, or they're not very good at anything, or they don't have anything unique, but they are not looking deep enough. Now, most people spend their lives even trying to fit into their cultures, fit into their families. However, customers, markets, clients, the media, okay, they all want to know how you are different, and they need to understand quickly how you are different, how you are unique, how you are special, and how you are gifted, okay? For positioning yourself, we're going to teach you at the upcoming training how to think of yourself as a thought leader or as an expert. This means that you're going to learn how to position yourself or your team or somebody else at your company, like Richard Branson does. Richard has always shared with us that in order to run so many businesses and be invested in so many businesses, naturally, he cannot be the one who shows up all the time. So he has to be pointing a finger at somebody else saying, this is the guy, or this is the woman, this is the CEO, this is the brand. And that is a way of positioning yourself as an expert. When you are the experts, people will see you. You will be visible, and people will know to come to you. Because today, people buy what's in front of them. They need to see you in order to buy your products and services. Now, if we're talking about products, if you have a product business, we're looking here at product differentiation. What is the genius of either you as the business owner, as a brand, or of your product to differentiate it in the marketplace? So let's take a look at how we can identify your genius. Now, right now, I'm talking about you as the business owner. Whether you have a product business, a service business, a technology business, whether you have a retail business or any type of business, you will need to be the front brand of your business. Now, just because you are in front, you're building the relationship with the audience. You're building the relationship with the media. You're building the relationship with the joint venture partners. You're building the relationship with the customers. It still allows you, if you would like, to have your privacy, to have your anonymity, as we say. In other words, you don't have to be a celebrity, but you do need to be connected. Customers need to feel connected to the business owners and to the owners and the inventors and the creators of the services and the products. So when I say about identifying your genius, if you own a product, you are still responsible in today's marketplace to be an important personal brand. And we're going to take you through our 5M award-winning formula. We've won awards all over the world for our branding. We were in Singapore. We won one of the top distinguished brand awards called the Brand Laureate. We were then put on Channel News Asia. They wanted to know who we were and why we were winning awards around branding. And we're going to teach you that so that you can use our systems, the things that we have decoded from years of working with groups like Disney and Microsoft and Apple, so that you can use those systems in building your brands. So even if you have a product business or a technology business or a retail business, consider that you being in front, you being visible, is equally as important as someone who is a coach, a consultant, or in a service business, like a freelancer, a graphic designer, or a chiropractor, or a dentist, or a doctor, or a lawyer, or an architect, or anybody else that provides a service. This is for everyone. Everybody needs to discover their genius, because even if you have a product, you're going to want to be in the media, speaking about your product, sharing it at conferences, sharing it online, sharing it in social media, and that means you are going to need to be seen as the genius behind the business, no matter what business it is. So here are some ways that we can identify your genius. Maybe you have invested time into something heavily. You know, it's often said that it takes 10,000 hours to master something. Some people say it takes 17 years to master something. Well, who knows how long it actually takes, but at some point, you have invested heavily into something about yourself. This could have been your traditional education. This could have been in a sport and a hobby. This could have been in something that you really love. It could be anything. Somewhere you have invested time researching about health, even if you're not earning money at it now. It's something that you're extraordinary at. Maybe you've raised children. If you have raised children, you have invested hundreds or thousands of hours into those children. We know having three children, being a father of two children, I should say. I feel like we have three children with our business. We always refer to our business as our third child. Having two real human children, a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old, I know what I've gone through to invest. Now, I don't make a living or ask people to invest in trainings with me or partner with people around teaching them how to be a good father. It's not something that I spend time in. Could I teach about it? Yeah, I probably could teach about it. Could I share, build products, build technology, or create businesses around being a great father? Absolutely. I've invested many hours in it. Am I a master at it? Let's say I'm not sure I'll ever be a master at it. I'll always be on the journey towards mastery. And that's an important point. You don't need to feel like you are a master now. If you're on the journey towards mastery, if you invested in it, and you're ahead of other people, that's what people are investing in. The opportunity to see where you have gotten. You've gotten ahead of them. That's why we bring on mentors. That's why we work with people over a year or years, holding their hands, saying, teach me everything you know. Guide me, because you have invested heavily. You have got ahead of me. I want to get to where you are, but I want to get there faster than you did. I mean, it took me 9 years to build 24 different companies. By the time I was 20 years old, I was completely homeless and broke. At 29 years old, I was retired. I was worth over 20 million US dollars. I had several companies paying me hundreds of thousands of US dollars back, even if I didn't show up to work or not. And so in those 9 years, I bet that if I taught you how to do it even better, you could do it even faster. You could get to retirement even faster. Now, what do you do when you retire? Well, what I did, I started more businesses. Retirement just means that you have the option to stop working. It means that your passive income, or the money that's coming in a systematized, automated fashion, is greater than your expenses. That you have the choice of your time. You don't have to work. You can work if you want to. You can work anywhere you want to. You can be anywhere you want to, because the money is coming in an automated fashion. Now, we want this for you. And you may say, well, why does he want this for me? That sounds fishy or weird. Why was, what's he want from me? Well, I'll tell you what we want from you. We want you to build an automated, systematized business that's pouring cash into your bank account, because we want to partner with you on that, and we want to take a part of your automated cash. Because doesn't it make sense for us if we have, instead of 5 or 6 businesses, or even 1 or 2 that we can run, to have hundreds or thousands of businesses that we're partnered into, and we have little pieces of cash constantly coming into our portfolio? Well, that's what we do. And so our job is to make you a success, because when you're a success, we can continue to build our portfolio. So this is a fun situation. You have our attention on you, because we need you to succeed. The more success you have, the more success we get, and that is a powerful combination. The second area you might find that you have genius is maybe you demonstrate a unique mastery over something. Maybe you almost have a born aptitude, or maybe in your family you grew up with something, and therefore it makes you really extraordinary. We have a student that we mentor in Hong Kong, and she runs a vocal studio. She only trains successful singers, artists, and performers around Asia. And people come in from all over Asia for her to train them and help them continue to get better as a singer, as a vocalist, as a performer. You have to be a professional performer to work with her. She mostly takes on signed record deal artists. In other words, they've got record deals, and they're coming to her because they have multi-million-dollar contracts on the line, sometimes tens of millions of dollars of contracts on the line, and they must perform well. Now, interestingly enough, she's a great singer, but she's a better teacher and a better coach in vocals than she is a singer. And so she chose that route. It was more of her mastery, more of her genius. Interestingly enough, her mother started the company because her mother was a master of voice and expression. Aha. So when she was born, we understand that she was already in the family, had something handed down to her. Now, we can't all be so lucky to have that. I wasn't so lucky to have this entrepreneurial brilliance or some business owner brilliance. My parents were employees. They never earned that much money. They lived on fixed incomes. I had to teach myself and learn and experience and hire mentors and hire coaches and hire consultants to be who I am today. So if you're starting from scratch and you don't have a family that has wisdom or experience in these areas, I understand. I didn't either. So, but maybe you had a born aptitude. Maybe you came into the world and you already had an interest in business or in sales or engineering or mathematics, or maybe you were great with people. Maybe you're very social. Maybe you already had a great ability to communicate or connect with people, or maybe you were a great speaker, or maybe you were very shy, but you were great at reading and you could read and read and read and read. Doesn't matter what it is. Every human being comes into the world with gifts. My daughter, 3 years old, started singing and dancing from the time she was 6 months old. She was humming, she was moving her body. This was a born aptitude, and she will be a genius at musical performance if she continues to cultivate it. Because just because you have the aptitude doesn't mean that you will become a master at it unless you continue to refine and work with masters around your ideas. Okay, another area. Maybe you have a deep passion that drives you, and therefore you spend a lot of time researching or engaging. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to consider a couple of questions. What do you think your expertise is? Okay, what is your expertise? What is your mastery? What do you think is your genius? And you can think about it from, be objective. Don't think you're boasting or you're being self-important or you're saying, I'm so important, I'm so good, I'm so great. It's not about that. It's that people need to understand, what are you an expert at? I'll give you an example. What I'm an expert at when it comes to business is I'm an expert at listening to somebody talk about their challenges, and within just about 30 seconds to 1 minute of listening to them, I can immediately identify the missing link between what they have and what they need to be able to create a very successful business. I don't have a lot of talents. I'm a pretty good piano player because I spent 30 years practicing, and I'm excellent at seeing the patterns of connectivity to be able to connect what you have with what you need in order to make an explosively successful situation for you. That's my genius. Alessia has a different genius. You'll meet Kevin Pates, our director of mentorship, who is involved in making sure every mentorship student has massive and consistent success in our mentorship programs. You'll meet him. He'll be in Hong Kong and Singapore with us. He was the ex-president of a publicly held company, had 4,500 employees reporting to him, had hundreds of millions of dollars in budgets he was managing. You can learn a few things from a man like that. He's got his own geniuses. You're going to meet Kevin Harrington, television show superstar from the television show Shark Tank. He has his own geniuses. Pitching. In about 2 minutes, he can listen to you and your language patterns and determine exactly what you need to do to change your pitch to get people more excited about you. So everybody has a different genius. And our job, once you identify it, is to help you understand how to package it up, promote it to the world, and earn a living. And maybe not just a living, find your calling and be able to do what you love to do on a daily basis, making more money than you have ever dreamed possible, taking care of your children, sending them to schools or educational institutions anywhere in the world where money becomes no object to you because you have found your genius, packaged it up, and positioned it in the world. So I want you to start writing here on the forum, writing here on the chat window, what is your genius? What do you think? And if it's not your genius, maybe it's your team's genius. Maybe you have a team, maybe you have a professional services company, or maybe you build a product, maybe you have employees, or what are you uniquely gifted at? Or what is your product's most interesting differential qualities? What can as few people or other products do as well as you or your product? Just go ahead and start dropping it in the chat window as I continue on here, and I can start to see what is making you so unique and so extraordinary that you can be positioning out there in the world. Okay? While you're doing that, I'm going to answer a couple of quick questions here. It says, Kane, I want your opinion on a drop shipping business model from Yasin. So Yasin, sure, drop shipping business models, I have no problem with them. They're great, they're automated, they work, as long as they work, and you're selling the product and they're drop shipping it, no problem with that. That sounds great. John says, hi, Kane. I sent you an email to you as I have quite a lot of questions to ask you. That's great, John. You should be bringing them with to the training. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have our whole team there. Each entrepreneur at the event is going to get an opportunity to sit down with our team, should you want to be able to talk to our team privately about your business and about your needs so that we can understand how we might be able to help you and move you forward. John, you put in here 5 questions. It's 6 questions. Actually a little bit intense for this webinar. So maybe you can pick one question you'd like to ask in this webinar and redrop it in the chat window. That would be great. Sam says, my colleague who was originally planned to go with me needs to travel abroad for the weekend. So is there anyone that wants to go with me to the upcoming training? Well, Sam, anybody on this webinar would actually be already enrolled in the program. Remember, your guest ticket is for your significant other, your husband or your wife, or your significant partner or a family member. Okay, great. So let's look at some of your geniuses. Gregory, genius in motivational speaking. It's awesome, Gregory. I love that. It's one of the highest paid platforms that you can speak about. All right, David says, drink mixing motivation. Okay, I'm not sure totally what that is, drink mixing motivation. Maybe you mix good drinks, David. That's always fun for everybody. Maybe you can bring a few to the event. Chantel says, I'm in services, so being organized and follow through. Okay, great. Excellent in organization. Yanni, I'm a problem solver in product design. That's great. Every company in the world, Yanni, today is looking for people to come in and help them do intrapreneurship, not entrepreneurship, but intrapreneurship. You can have a very, very big career in that, flying around the planet in first class and business class, training organizations. Okay, Andre says, definitely discipline is one of my geniuses. That's great. So many are not disciplined, Andre. You could be teaching others how to have higher skill sets. Sen says, my genius, teaching music, piano, and singing, organizational skills. Awesome, Sen. I love that as a pianist and musician. Peggy, my genius is ortical skills, language, sincerity that endears people to me when they first meet. I love it. Artie says, my genius is researching. Vincent, I'm good at gaining trust. Thank you so much, everyone. This is great. Tracy, my genius is in multiple language speaker. Awesome. All right, I'm going to keep going, but I love it, and I appreciate that. As I keep going here, I'm going to take you with me. I'm realizing that my computer cable needs some battery power here. So if you'll give me just a moment here to grab my power cable so that we don't lose contact with one another, I'm going to get us plugged in and make sure that we can continually see each other powerfully here. So we'll put you down right here. Okay, so to move this along, let's take a look at some other questions that you can ask yourself, which will give you the access to the question of, what am I a genius in? What are you a genius in? This is a very important question. And you are a genius. You are a genius in areas that are this. Please consider these questions. What are some unique or special things about you? Maybe it's a talent, a skill, an ability. Maybe you have resources or assets, or maybe you have access to something. This is a great question to ask yourself to continue to discover your genius. And you're going to understand why I'm taking you through this in just a moment. When we get to our next section, you're going to put this into something that will change your ability to generate money forever. Okay, so hold on to that. Number 2, here's a different question you could ask. What is one thing that people often remember you for? What is one thing people often remember you for? Now, this could be a positive thing, or it could even be a judgment. Okay, maybe they remember you because you have a birthmark on your face, okay? And so, although maybe that's not a total genius thing, I'm just saying, maybe you're going, well, I don't like that people remember me about that, but they remember me because I'm super tall, or I'm very visionary, or they always say, well, I'm always a joker. I'm always making jokes, and I'm really funny. So whatever they remember you for, it doesn't always have to be positive, because being stuck in somebody's mind is just as powerful as it doesn't matter whether it's for positive or negative. Okay. All right. Next, what does your family members ask you your advice on, or what do your close friends say to you? Hey, you're really good at that. You're great at health. You really know a lot about your health. You've got a great physique, or you always seem healthy. You never get sick. How would I do that? Or hey, you're so tuned in, or you've got a medical background. Tell me about I've got questions for you about medicine. Or you're a great communicator, or you have a great relationship with your husband or wife. How have you done that for so many years? Notice where people ask you about your gifts, because this is a very important and easy place to understand that you could be having some great genius there. When people are asking you for your advice, or anything that you've researched about, or people come to you, or they notice that you have a special gift, this is something that is an obvious sign that you should be putting your attention there in your business. Now, this could be the product or the service you sell, or it could just be a positioning technique where you are going to go out to the media, you're going to go out to the press, you're going to go out to conferences, you're going to be out speaking, and you are going to position these genius traits. Now, for service providers, here's a little exercise I would encourage you to do. I want you to make a list of 6 things that you do differently than others that sell the same service, okay? If you're a product business, consider 6 things that make your product different, okay? Now, a long time ago, a coach of mine, when I was 20 years old, I had already understood how valuable investing in myself through mentorship and coaching was at an early age. By 20 years old, I had my first coach in business, and I was at that time totally broke. I was $40,000 US in debt. I was maxed out on my credit cards. I was sleeping on a friend's couch in his office with no windows because I had nowhere else I could afford. But I said, I am going to figure this out. And at that time, I found a coach. I paid that coach as much as I could. I was working as a piano player at a piano bar, and every dollar I could take and I could get, I would give to that coach to teach me. And that coach, one of the first things that he and his mother, who coached me, said to me is, make a list of why you're different and write it down. And I did. I always did whatever my coaches told me, whatever my mentors told me. I said, hey, if you have the success and the experience that I want, you just tell me what to do and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to overdo it. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to keep doing it until you tell me to stop doing it. No one had to ever tell me twice to take action. I just took action. Even when it seemed ridiculous, even when I thought they were telling me things that seemed maybe even more for their benefit than for my benefit, I just trusted the process and I thought, you know, at the end of the day, my success is their success. So just tell me what to do. And this was the first assignment I got, which was to identify exactly what makes you different. Okay? Now let's take all of that, which we just discussed, and move it into something called the audio logo. Now listen very, very, very carefully. This next section is literally one of the most powerful things that we could teach you to help you be able to create more curiosity, more opportunity, and more money for your business. Don't take it lightly. Many people think, oh, this is just some technique he's showing us on a webinar. This is literally something that you can use for the rest of your life. It's called the audio logo. About 12 years ago, I created this. I recorded a video and I put it up on YouTube just for fun. Didn't even think much about it. And this video went viral. 20,000 hits in about a week and a half of people watching the audio logo. I got more emails and more messages for people saying this one technique changed their entire business than anything else that I produced at that time. Here we go. Here's how it works. A business is 3 things. The first thing it is it is a target market. It's a group of people that you are serving. And it's not a huge group of people. It is a niche. A niche is a subsection of a subsection. So for example, Hong Kong could be a target market if you're talking about all of Asia, but it's not a very specific target market. Professional women between the ages of 35 and 45 who have 1 child and earn over 10,000 Hong Kong dollars a week is a specific niche, okay? And I want you to notice the difference because so many business owners are not specific enough. We'll come back to that in just a second. The second thing a business is it's a problem to solve from that target market. So what your business does is you solve problems. People appreciate you when you solve their problem, and when you solve their problem effectively and quickly, they give you money. And so you are solving a problem for people. And when you're solving it, there is a solution that you're providing, a result that you're providing. That is what a business is. 3 simple things. Everybody on the planet could have a business, yet they have not invested in themselves like you have through this training. And so as we train you in these 3 days and we spend a year with you mentoring you and holding your hand and growing your business for your benefit and for our benefit, we're going to make sure that you understand exactly how to identify your target market, your problem, and your solution. Because those 3 things, simple, easy to do, identify those 3 things are the start of every business. So the question around your target market is, who do you love to work with? Now, if you're coming into this training and you are starting a brand new business, you need to identify who you want to be working with. Who do you love? Who do you want to spend time with in the world? And Alessia talked a little bit about this last night when she looked at the clients that you could be working with or your customers. If you're already in a business, or maybe you've been in it for a long time and you're established, you want to consider, are you literally working with the people that you love to work with? Or are you just taking anybody? What we'll be teaching you are influence systems and persuasion systems, branding, packaging, and positioning systems, so that you can choose exactly who you want to work with, just like we choose who we want to work with. Nobody can sign up for our mentorship programs or partner into our portfolio by buying it. We don't need your money. We were retired a long time ago. We've made our tens of millions. We're done. We continue to partner with people to help and support the world, to build our dynasty and our legacy. But we work with who we love to work with. And at these training weekends, we get an opportunity to share our systems with anybody. We believe anybody could come to the training weekend, anybody that wants to learn from us. We believe in providing education as cheaply as possible. I think you'll agree after this weekend that this ticket that you paid and the time and the effort that you came was well worth it. In fact, you should feel like it was a tiny investment compared to what you walked away with. But after that, we choose who we mentor. We choose who we accept into our programs. We choose who we want to spend time with. And we choose because we want to love the people we spend time with. It's either time with you or time with our children. And if you have children or lovers or parents or family or brothers and sisters, you understand that the time that you spend is the most precious time. If you've ever had a health crisis, and I'll share some scary stories with you this week about health crises that we've had, not knowing if we would live or not, you get a new relationship to time and how important it is to have every moment be your moment, choosing a life by design, not by default. Now, that group of people that you choose to work with, that you choose to give your time with, they're going to have a problem. Everybody has problems. People have lots of problems. That's what it is to be alive. You have problems. And everybody has problems. So you have to choose, what problem do you want to solve for that market of people? This is the second thing you must choose and must decide. Now, I say this word choose because when you work with us and we mentor you over time, you start to learn that you can choose every part of your life. There is no life that has been given to you. That's a victim approach. And we're going to change that to show you how you can always have the ability to choose every choice in your life. Everything that you want to create, you can choose to make that happen. That means that you will have some problems because you will want to make choices that will be more difficult for you to have happen without some products and some services or some education. And therefore, just like you, everybody in the world is making choices and needing to solve problems because of those choices. Let me give you an example so this doesn't sound so theoretical. A very simple example. If you choose to work somewhere that is more than walking distance from your house, then you need transportation. Now that's your choice. You chose to work somewhere where you needed transportation, right? So because of your choice, you now have a problem. And because you have a problem, somebody decided, let's have a solution for that problem. So you might have a train, a taxi, Uber, what else? A car, a bike, a motorized bike, a motorcycle, a bike share where you can share bikes, truck, a bus, if I didn't say bus yet. All of these things are solutions to a problem that you have because you made a choice. So you're going to need to start to understand what are the problems your target market has from the choices they have made so that you can provide an elegant solution, whether it's a service, a product, a technology, or anything else. You're going to learn to create a solution and position that solution in the marketplace for everybody that you love, that you want to help, who has a problem that you can solve. So let me introduce you to the audio logo. The audio logo is a linguistic technique, and you're going to start to notice that we have become masters of language. In the last 20 years, I've spent more time studying language and the influence of language on the brain and on people than almost any other topic. I have learned what it means to communicate in certain ways and how you can cause influence, persuasion, action, how you can create things, create money, create time, create options, create opportunity through language, because it's very powerful. And if you've never studied language, you're going to learn that everything that we do is surgically designed for influence, impact, persuasion, and success for you, just for you, so that you can continue to have more success as we partner with you on that success. So the audio logo is a linguistic technique that we have designed specifically for you to use and for business owners to use to be able to communicate what you do in a very fast and effective way. Because speed means you reduce time. When you reduce time, you get more time for yourself, more time for your children, more time for the people you love, and that means more time for enjoyment, fulfillment, and pleasure. Your audio logo is a 3-sentence segment, and it is the answer to the question, what do you do? How many times do you get asked that question, what do you do? Or you even get insinuated, oh, what kind of work do you do? Or how do you make a living? Or what do you love to do? These questions are all answered by the audio logo. And let me show you what it is. Here it is. It is a statement that you make that starts like this. Typically, my clients are, and then you fill in the blank with your target markets. That was the first part of a business. Who have the challenge of, and then you share the problem, the second part of a business. And I help them get blank results. This is the third part of the business. Target market, problem, results. So when someone says to you, what do? You can use this as a way to hook them in. Kevin Harrington would call this your first initial pitch, to hook in people and get them curious about you. So when someone says to me, Kane, what do you do? I say, well, typically my students are entrepreneurs and business owners who have the challenge of taking their passions and turning them into money in the way they thought they should, expected, and they're struggling. They're struggling maybe silently. They're struggling emotionally. They want more, but they can't have it yet. And I help them get more money, more power, more success, and most importantly, they start to design their future and their lives the way they want to so they can help their families the way they want to and sleep peacefully at night. Okay? And that's the long version. I can give you the shorter version, but you get the idea. You're going to use this exact technique for yourself. Typically, my clients are blank, who have the challenge of blank. I help them get blank. Fill in the blanks, target market, problem, or results. I can't make this any easier for you. You just have to put in 1 word, 2 words. Typically, my clients are entrepreneurs who have the challenge of visibility. I help them get visibility and reach more customers. Okay, it can be super simple, but it must be done. Now, let's talk real quickly while you are thinking about that, maybe even creating yours. Let's talk about results positioning because it will affect the way you position your audio logo. Results are critical. I want you to write this down and code this into your brain. People buy results. That's all they care about. That's all they want. That's all they've ever wanted. That's all they ever respond to. They just want results. So let's talk about the different types of results. Because when I say results to you, if you're not trained in results, you might think, oh, there's just one result, right? What's the result I produce? But no, there's actually 3 categories of results. And what I'm about to teach you, most business owners in the world have no idea this exists. So they're sloppy. They're sloppy with their language. They're sloppy with the way they position things. And therefore, they're sloppy and they get sloppy results. Many of them go out of business because they're too sloppy and too righteous. They're too thick-headed. They're not willing to learn or to apply the things that we teach. It's okay, that's up to them. Our businesses continue to go on and thrive. Your business will continue to go on and thrive and be great when you use our systems. So the first type or category of results that you can have is called a tangible results. And the tangible results are the types of results that you get tangibly, either physically. Money is a tangible result. A new relationship is a tangible result. A new car would be a tangible result. Now, if you run a product business or technology business, the tangible results is not necessarily the product, but it's what the product brings. Okay? Or it could be the product. Either way, the tangible, I want you to start thinking more emotionally, and tangibility should be the results that that product brings. So, for example, if you sold a blender for the kitchen, the kitchen appliance, a blender that spins around, well, it's not that you sell a blender, it's that you sell the ability to create a juice. And the juice is the result of that product. If you sell services, make sure you're connected to the tangible results you produce because so many service business owners talk about something other than the physical results. So if you are a trainer or a consultant around money, make sure that you say what you help people create is more money. But the second category, the second level, is the emotional level. The emotional level is very important because people buy on emotions. They don't buy on logic. They buy because it emotionally connects to them. They can feel in their hearts how important your product and service is to them because you have positioned it correctly in their minds and in their hearts and in their wallets. So emotional means that the results would be an emotional results. These are things like fun, play, joy, romance, sensuality, excitement, happiness. Notice these are positive emotions because people don't really like to invest in negative emotions like sadness or depression or upset. So selling a result as a negative emotion can be a little tough. Now, this is the second level. And this means that it's not more important or less important than the tangible. It is equally important. But it is a level that's a higher level because it resonates a higher frequency. The difference between saying you help people create money is different than you help people have more fun with their life. When people hear they have more fun, they resonate at a deeper level than earning money, which brings us to the third and highest level of human resonance, which is spirituality. Now, it's not spirituality like religion. We're not talking about religion at all. Not at all. I will never talk about religion. Whatever your religion is up to you. It makes no difference to me, and I hope you're happy and do great things. When I say a spiritual thing, I almost mean a human consciousness thing. This is the kind of thing that humans are after, the highest levels for human beings. Freedom, love, security, fulfillment, okay? Things like that. Ultimate, passion, I would say, things like that. These are the highest level of things that you can get people. So when you say what you help people get, you must have at least a tangible and at least either an emotional or a spiritual. So let me show you how that gets integrated into this model. This goes into the results, the last blank. Typically, my clients are entrepreneurs, or my students are entrepreneurs, who have the challenge of visibility. And here we go with the results. I help them get more media attention. I help them be seen on social media. And I help them sleep better at night knowing that there will always be enough clients and customers and enough money coming in to take care of their children, to take care of their parents, and to take care of themselves. It gives them freedom, a life by design, the confidence, and the security that they want. Okay? That's how you integrate the whole thing. Use it, use it, use it, and use it again. Okay, I'm going to drop off the slides. That's the content for our third webinar. From here, I'm going to come on back. Hey there, how are you? And now I'm going to take on some questions, and we'll wrap up in the next 10 minutes here with some questions. So let's see what we got here. I'm just going to scroll back a little bit. Genius. All right, there you go. Yasin asks, how to find clarity about finding your genius if you're not feeling any particular direction? Good question, Yasin. Well, finding your genius can often be discovered by asking others what they think about your genius. So if you don't feel like you really have anything specific that's easy to understand, Yasin, why don't you spend the next couple of days, Yasin, I don't know if you're coming to Hong Kong or coming to Singapore. I know that we will see you soon. Why don't you spend the next couple of days asking people around you, what do you think your real genius is? Just ask them, what do you think I'm really great at? What do you think I have a mastery in or an exceptional talent in? Ask other people around you and see if that helps you get more direction. I can't tell you how many of my friends have said to me, you're a master at this. And I thought, really? I didn't think that. But they see me as that. And so I'm okay. If people see you as a master, even if you don't feel like you're a master, stop judging yourself. Stop limiting yourself. Start allowing others to see you as a great, great person. Okay? Let's see. Feliciano says, I'm an architect, but I lost the interest and I want to be a public speaker going around the world and motivating people. Okay, Feliciano, I understand. That's great. We're going to be talking about that at the event. How to have a whole business as an expert or as a speaker. Now, many of you might be, many students coming to this event who might be expert businesses, training people, educating, mentoring, advising, consulting, coaching, facilitating, authors, speakers, trainers, online marketers that are sharing your knowledge and your wisdom It's a $1.2 billion business today. It's the top 3 fastest growing industries in the world is online education and education across the world. So that's great. Boone asks, mentoring people, especially the younger generation, in conducting business the pragmatic way. Oh, you're telling me what you're a genius at, Lippoon. Glad to meet and chat with those of you attending the Hong Kong seminar. Great, Lippoon. We will look forward to seeing you. We'll look forward to having you there in person, in flesh. Andrew says, typically my clients are business owners from CIS countries who have the challenge of doing business with Korea. I help them get connections and start business with Korean companies. Andre, I love that. Love that. Now, Andre, you did a beautiful job. I'm going to take you to the next level because I'm intuitive and I can feel that you can handle it. Andre, let's get even more specific. Now, not everybody knows what a CIS country is. So you may want to make sure that you're specific about that and who have the challenge of doing business. Now, what is the challenge that they're really having about doing business? Is it a cultural challenge? Is it a language challenge? When you say I help them get connections and start business with Korean companies, is it that they're not able to understand how business is done? They can't reach the decision makers? So you don't have to answer me here, but just think the more specific, the more successful, because the easier it is for someone to say, this is for me. That's why I'm going to be engaging in it. All right. Beatrix asks, hi, Kane, do you have a business already for qualify? Do you have to have a business already to qualify for mentorship? Thank you for the question, Beatrix. You do not have to have a current business. You have to have an idea. About 25% of the students that we mentor each year have not had a business when they started with us, but they had an idea. We must know what your idea is because we must make sure that you have an idea that we believe will work, considering your talents, your resources, your knowledge, your ability, and your capability, your skill sets. As long as you have a clear idea, you do not have to have started it for us to mentor you. And here's why. We've learned that investing in businesses is not nearly as valuable as investing in people, business leaders, should I say. Because great people always seem to be able to turn things successful. And it doesn't matter what the idea is. Now, about the other 75%, Beatrix, actually have businesses. And the wonderful thing about being at this event, some of our students came in and they said, I expected to come in and learn from the community around us. Well, there's lots to learn. You're going to have a lot of brilliant business owners and brilliant people at this upcoming event for Singapore and for Hong Kong. Some of you I met personally already, and I'm blown away. Blown away. We're going to have some very high players, very high ball players, high rollers. We're going to have investors, venture capitalists. We'll have people who are running tens of millions of dollars in companies already, Singapore and Hong Kong dollars. And yes, I understand the difference between the two currencies. And we're going to be having some celebrities at the event. Some you may know, some that may want to be named nameless. I may not bring attention to them. They may not want to be outed as superstars in their industries. In the meantime, you'll find that some people and most people are just learning at the same level that you're learning at, no matter what place they got to. So you're going to be learning from them because everyone's going to have a genius and brilliance. And you'll find that the students, the mentorship students that we choose to work with are a team, a family. You become a family. And in that family, you're constantly sharing your gifts and your ideas so that you can constantly be engaging each other and teaching each other. So it's a very, very high quality network that you're stepping into, Beatrix. Andreas, you told us to write 6 things about our business that is different from others. Yes. What if I don't know anyone who's doing the same similar business? How can I compare? Okay, Andre, great question. And if you don't know anybody else doing your business, you can use your differentiators based upon the decision making. So the question is are people able to solve their problem that they solve through you in a different way? So let me give an example. We have students who are in Denver, Colorado, in the United States of America. Now, they have a stretching expertise. They do stretching, special stretching, and they do it in a very special way. They've created a unique system where they take athletes and high-performing people who do high-performance physical stuff. Like, they don't have to be professional athletes. They could be what we call weekend warriors. And weekend warriors are people that have professional jobs but take athletics very seriously on the weekends, like people who run triathlons or people who play competitive sports, but they're not professionals. And they have a very unique system that they take people through where they teach them how to stretch, and they do stretches with them that ensure that they will reduce the probability of getting hurt by like 95%. Now, there's nobody else that does what they do in their industry, so they have no competition. However, their customers can solve their problem by going to a completely different type of solution. So they still need to explain why they are unique or different inside of solving that problem. Okay, Andre, I think you're kind of starting to understand what I'm talking about here. So even if you have no competition, you should be explaining why you're different against other solutions. If you have nobody that's a competitive person to you, then you have a very unique, interesting positioning in the industry that you are in. And if you're earning money with it and there's nobody else, I'd love to talk to you. Feliciano, is it possible to be a part of the team here in Asia? I want to be a motivational speaker and help people around the world, but first I want to learn from you. Well, Feliciano, like Tracy says, she does too. The first step is to learn our systems and to apply our systems and spend time with us, proving to us that you can apply the recipes and the systems to your business, and that you have the discipline and you have the focus, because nothing comes for free in the world. And what that means is that you can't just sit back and meditate and hope everything will work. Meditation is great. We meditate often. We love meditation. Clears our mind, clears our bodies, aligns our spirit, our mind, our body, our soul. But we do not meditate our way to success. We never did. We never will. We meditate our way to clarity and groundedness, and then we take action on the systems and the tools that we have designed for ourselves over the years of making huge mistakes and having great successes. So, Feliciano, what you do first is you take our systems that have been proven and tested and surgically designed for success, you apply them, and you prove that you will discipline yourself to be able to apply them. Once you prove that, then you can start to become part of our team. You're going to notice that our team is a team of very disciplined, very focused, and very high-achieving professionals, individuals. They're not children. They're not kids. They don't act like children or kids. They are not newbies to the world of business. We have a very high professional, super high experienced team. Even our audio visual guy who's running the audio visual that will be there has done thousands of events. Our coaching team has coached tens of thousands of students successfully. These are not new people to the coaching world. So in order to be on our team, you have to have proven yourself, because you want proven results. You wouldn't want to be coached by a new team testing out new things and trying them on you and your business and accepting your money, your hard-earned money, to test things on you. You want proven systems, and that's what we bring you. So when we put you on our team, you have to be a proven quantity, a proven entity, and we can talk more about that another time. John asks, "Hi, Kane. May I know are you usually replying to our emails?" So John, our customer service, Rockstar Service at industryrockstar.com. We have 3 customer service representatives in 3 different time zones, 1 in Asia, 1 in America, and 1 in South Africa, in order to make sure that you have emails being read and answered to around the clock, because we are a high customer service business. Now, as we come up on a 3-day training weekend, it's not unusual that we get a very high volume of requests, people sending in their guests, people asking questions, where is the training, things like that. You should give the customer service team a little bit of response time, 24 to 48 hours. Normally they respond within hours. Sometimes when it gets heavy just before an event, 24 to 48 hours. So the answer is yes, we respond to all those emails, and the team will respond to them. Andre, emotional and spiritual results are very similar. Can you clarify again what's the difference? Yes, thank you, Andre. Great question. The difference between spiritual and emotional is that emotional are some of the emotions that you have, where spiritual are the human pursuits. They are the things we are going after in our lives. Security, safety, love, fulfillment, okay, those kind of things. Emotions are the emotions that we have on a daily basis. Joy, fun, play, happiness, excitement. Those are things that come and go. We are in the pursuit of spiritual things, okay? Fulfillment, enlightenment, evolution, okay? What else can we say? Security is a big one. Love, safety. These are the big ones, okay? Those are the spiritual ones. Okay, Deddy asks, what's the real form of the audio logo? Give me an example to understand it better. Okay, well, Deddy, I gave you a couple of examples, but I'll do it again. So typically, this is the audio logo. Typically, my clients are blank, who have the challenge of blank, and I help them get blank. That's the actual framework. An example is, I'll give you my example. Typically, my students are entrepreneurs. And if I said clients to be able to make it more real to you, I mean, we don't have customers, we don't have clients, we have family, we have friends, we have students. That's it. So for you, you would say, typically, my clients are entrepreneurs who have the problem of They don't have enough visibility, and I help them get visible and bring in more customers. That's an example, Daddy. That may not be appropriate to you. It's just an example, okay? Edgar, we've got 2 more questions, then we'll wrap up here as we're rounding the top of the hour. Edgar, we will be given or trained on a system and branding, correct? Absolutely. I believe that this is, in my case, is truly the thing that we're most lacking. Okay, we're doing well, but we're still hustling. Okay, 11 years later, I'd love to free up more time and expand with other things. That's great, Edgar. I'm going to ask, Edgar, that you take time to talk to Kevin Pates, our Director of Mentorship, who is a master at scaling businesses and understanding how the operations need to become more efficient. Branding might be a problem, but you might be having a problem in your packaging, in your operations, and in the way you're designing your leadership, because between your margins to hire more people and the way you're training and automating, this may be a bigger problem for you. Just saying, it might be a bigger problem. Gregory, can it be a problem to have a target market niche too specific with too specific of a problem? You can, Gregory. It's actually not, that's not the problem. The problem is the price points of your packages, your products, your services. The more specific you get, the less pool you'll have. So the larger your price points will need to be in order to make up for the volume. Remember, leverage can be done in price points, or leverage can be done in the volume of people or in the markets. Just remember that. Andre says, so you can say, last question. So you can say that emotional results is kind of a temporary result on a daily basis, but spiritual results are lasting for life. Yeah, I mean, it's a good way of saying it, Andre. It's not quite what I'm saying, because you can have excitement or joy or fun for long period, weeks at a time, months at a time. The difference is the depth at which a human being would sacrifice to have that. How much would you sacrifice to have safety and security? How much would a human being sacrifice to have love, fulfillment? It's different than a human being would sacrifice to have fun. It's different than a sacrifice to have enjoy, to feel happy, okay, for some period of time. And that's an important thing, because when it comes to your problem that you're solving, when you're solving a problem or you're positioning yourself as someone who can solve a problem that would be something worth a large sacrifice, now you have something that people are more willing to invest bigger amounts of money in. Okay, awesome questions. Great webinar. This is just the beginning. I can't wait to see you. I'm going to see you this weekend in Hong Kong, next weekend in Singapore. This is the start to a very beautiful and long-term relationship together. We'll be spending a lot of time together, learning and growing and engaging together. A year for many of you. We'll be spending an entire year growing and building. I hope you enjoyed our webinar series, and I hope you can now understand that we're serious about providing you important models and thinking frameworks that, when you use them, change the way you're able to create your life, live your dream, create your destiny, and protect your family, and have fun. Okay, everybody, we'll see you soon. Have safe travels if you're traveling in. Make sure you get lots of sleep. Make sure you're prepared for engagement and fun. This is going to be a fun conference. We like to have fun, engage the room. We're going to ask you to play full out for 3 days, whether you see us in Hong Kong or Singapore. We'll see you soon. Have a wonderful one. Our love to each and every one of you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.